Welcome back to Customer Tech Talks. I'm your host, Ben Walters, and today I'm joined by YMCA of the USA, who pivoted the experience for their members during 2020 to provide new virtual experiences. But before we jump into the interview, let's take a look at the video.
YMCA is a leading nonprofit whose mission is to better the life of individuals and communities. We have around 2,700 YMCA locations around the country that has an impact on over 10,000 communities. We have constituents, members, program participants who come into the Y, who get the benefit of all our programs and membership. Really, our focus is to empower and enable the person and thereby the community to be better individuals, to be greater leaders. That impact actually drives me every day, and just the thought of a child or a teenager or a parent or a senior citizen, they can have a better life because of what I do here, actually motivates me. The YMCA of the USA, which is the national office of all the YMCAs, have had a long-term strategic partnership with Microsoft. We have used all the tools and technologies, and we are also now 100% on Microsoft Azure. Microsoft has actually enabled us to deliver our impact in the 10,000 communities.
So I'm joined by Siva Balu, Vice President and CIO of YMCA of the USA. Siva, great to have you with us.
Ben, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm sure a lot of us know who YMCA of the USA is and what it is that you do. But today we're here to talk about how you continue to serve your customers during lockdown and how with the YCloud digital transformation, including providing virtual and mobile services, you really continue to serve those members. Can you share with everyone exactly what YCloud is?
Sure. YCloud is a digital platform which is part of our digital transformation. It was really created in response to COVID-19. It's first of a kind, a platform built by a nonprofit for nonprofits. In our case, by the YMCA of the USA for all the YMCAs across the country. The YCloud digital platform is one platform that holds many digital products on top of it. Think of virtual, mobile, digital content, so on and so forth. And this is offered as a software as a service to the 2,700 YMCAs across the country.
Now, YMCA kind of runs in this federated or franchise model. However, YCloud is provided essentially to each of these locations. Can you step us through how you've gone about architecting this experience?
Absolutely. We actually took a step back during COVID, and when we had this need to build a digital platform, we thought we had to hone in on the foundational principles of a cloud-based software as a service solution. For example, we honed into the key principles like multi-tenancy, role-based access, scalability, security, secure networks, so on and so forth. We spent a lot of time in the foundational principles. And when we built it, we also knew that the only way to quickly scale is to make it automated in the backend. So we actually started very small. We looked at the demand and we started expanding our footprint, primarily using a lot of Microsoft Azure tools. And right now we are in the process of creating redundancy within the East region and the West region. So as we expand over the next few years, it's a truly sustainable platform that 10,000 communities and members from all the communities can use the YCloud products.
Now, I know we all feel like 2020 was the year that would never end. But in the grand scheme of things, you actually turned this project around really quickly when you think about it. Can you share how you achieved that and what were some of the challenges you faced during that process?
You're 100% right, Ben. There was a need for speed. The best way I can describe is when we were in between COVID, when we had limited resources, we had a lot of focus. So when we made the decision to create a digital platform like the YCloud, we said it's going to be agile. We want to remove unnecessary processes and layers, as well as we brought all the teams together. This was a time when everybody was working from home and there's so much going on in your work life and personal life. So we thought, the best thing we can do is let the teams come together and work together. So the technology team and the users actually collaborated closely in continuously iterating our products. The biggest secret of our success is being radically transparent. Every day we published the backlog. Every week we actually did a lessons learned. And every month we gave a demo to the users and we were able to launch this. Some of the challenges we had, not to say we had a lot of challenges, but really it's how do we collaborate? And that's where I think some of the Microsoft products really helped us, like Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive. We actually doubled down on our electronic and digital collaboration, and we made sure that every person in the team or the cross-functional teams is aware of all the progress being made, all the roadblocks. So I would say the challenge we had is, everybody working from home, but also we used that as an opportunity to increase our online collaboration. In addition to that, there are so many unknowns that came up with it. If somebody had an emergency in their home, or if somebody couldn't make it, then we had a little bit of a drag organizationally. So we kind of tapped into other resources that's available to us. From a technology perspective, I would say there were very, very limited challenges because we were able to connect and just scale up our platform. The developers got their environment, the testers got their environment, so we were able to move fast. From a technology perspective, there are other process and procedural challenges that we had to overcome during the challenging times.
Now, it sounds like you really kind of, like I said, you turned it around great. And you said that there were a lot of lessons you learned along the way and that you shared with your teams as you were going through with that mantra of transparency. Can you share what some of those lessons were and some of the insights you made with viewers who are looking to build similar solutions or multi-tenant environments for their customers?
100%. I know as technologists, sometimes we are so focused on the technology. I would say in any conditions, even if you're under stress, it's important to have a focus on the business strategy. So put your business strategy and the opportunity at the top of the pyramid. Have a robust roadmap. Have some good guiding principles that you can actually develop a product like agile, like collaboration, and try to continuously learn from the mistakes during the process. These are philosophical, but also it's very important to follow them and kind of lead the way. From a technology perspective, some of the lessons learned is making the right architecture decisions when you build a huge platform, not knowing in the beginning stages that this is needing to be scaling up. So tapping on to some subject matter experts from Microsoft and maybe other partners and getting their expertise in making those decisions correctly early on has been very important for our success. And I would also recommend others to do the same. In addition to that, getting the stakeholders buy-in, making sure that the results are published to your stakeholders and they support you. And also your team is the most important part of this, making sure your technology team, as well as your process team and your business teams are well aligned. And if there is any conflict, you have a method to resolve the conflicts. So many aspects to this. There is no one single response, but it's a complete picture that actually helps to move forward with a big strategy like this.
Now, I'm going to make a wild assumption here that this wasn't just a system that was set up for 2020 and is going away. I'm guessing there are big things in the future for YCloud. Can you share with everyone where you see this growing in the future?
Sure. So currently we have 3 products that we built on YCloud. One is called Virtual Y, which is used to deliver virtual content to members in their living rooms. The second one is called the YMCA Universal App, which is a mobile app that is built on Microsoft Azure to deliver the same experience, whether it is content or check-in in a mobile device. And the third one is called OpenY Software as a Service, which is a digitized platform to provide content to the members. Apart from the 3 products we already have launched, the future products, the next 6 to 12 months, we're working on delivering our chronic disease prevention program in a virtual and a mobile environment. So that involves creating a HIPAA compliant, secure, encrypted product on YCloud that we can actually offer our diabetes prevention program and other chronic disease prevention programs. We're also looking at data collection. Now, all this boils down to data. We want to make sure that we are securely collecting data. We're using our data for future data analytics and business intelligence so that the leaders across the country can make intellectual decisions for their business drivers.
Some really great lessons there and also some really exciting things to come for YCloud in the future. Siva, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing it with us today.
Ben, it was a pleasure to be with you here and share some of our experiences and lessons learned with the audience. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, if you want to learn more about anything you've seen here today, if you want to sign up for your own YMCA membership, or you want to get started with the resources to build your own Azure solution, you can follow the links on screen now to get started. Of course, if you want to join us on Customer Tech Talks and share your own story, you can email us at cttalk@microsoft.com to get started. Thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Customer Tech Talks.